Hello, everybody. Welcome to Counselor's Couch 101. I'm Jim Stump. Recently, I've received some requests for a counseling service online, and I really appreciate that because that's what's going to make this program grow. Hopefully, we can get a network going and be of service to folks. And the more people we can help, the better off we like it. And in order to get to the substance of what I want to share with you today, I want to tell you about my visit to the dentist yesterday, right? You're thinking, what the heck? How can these two have anything in common? I walked into the dentist office. I went up to the desk. Of course, we're all wearing masks, right? And she handed me a bunch of papers and she said, please go through this and review it. And what it was about 200 questions on health issues. I went through the thing and I checked out no, 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 about 195 of them. And there are a few of them that could have been issues, right? And irrelevant to the dentist's work. And that was the entire point of the questionnaire. They didn't think I had 200 things wrong with me. They were ruling out the things in order they can focus on what they need to do and what needs to get done for me. At that point, I was the patient. Same thing happens when I go to my medical doctor. I walk in, a nurse usually takes my weight, takes my blood pressure, and sometimes they'll even take my temperature. And then she'll ask me a lot of questions and she'll write them all down on a list. With all that information compiled, she will hand that to the doctor and the doctor will proceed on from that point. When I think about counseling issues, we need information. That's the entire basis of how we can help you out. We require information. Oftentimes people say, hey, I'm depressed, can you help me out? And I say, the first thing that comes to my mind is a series of questions. I'm thinking I have to know a lot more about what's going on with this person than I'm depressed, can you help me out, right? I could ask question after question after question and not even get to the issue. As a side note, one of the hardest type of people it is to work with, the people who don't give you information, they just give you one-word answers. You know, a guy walks into the office and I say, what are you here for? How can I help you? He says, I'm depressed. I say, okay, you're depressed. Do you know what's causing your depression? No. Have you been depressed long? Yeah. When did depression start? All my life. It goes on like this. And I have to ask 100,000 questions in order to get the information I need to be of service. All right? Now, I can go on forever and I can ask all the wrong questions because I'm guessing in the wrong direction. It's a lot easier if the client provides information and we can move forward from that. So I tell people, if you're going to write in and ask for counseling services online, we are more than willing to help, but you got to help us out. First of all, I'm assuming that if you write in and ask us for some assistance, you are giving us permission to mention that case in these podcasts right here, these YouTube videos. You're giving us permission. It'd be nice if you'd say you have permission to use my story. We would never use your name. We're not going to use your location. We'll try to stay away from your occupation. We'll try to keep your anonymity in every way we can. But we need to have some basic ideas that we can pass on to other people so that we can all learn as a community, right? So I had this is just another side note. I had a client once years ago, and we'd meet once a week in person. In between time, she would compose emails and send them to me. One time she sent me an email that was 17 pages long, single-spaced, and very small type size, right? 17 pages, a lot of information. And she asked me, does it bother you to have to read all this? I say, no, not at all. Actually, it helps our counseling go along a lot faster. It helps me focus. I can glance at these emails, read through them, at the end of the day, and I can identify the issues that I think we should be talking about. And that really helps. It helps us progress on to where we want to go to get you the result that you were looking for. We're still hot in California. And there's another side note. You can get a lot of work done for yourself, by yourself, simply by writing down your issues and reflecting on them. In the past, they often called that journaling. But we're not saying, hey, I woke up Monday at 9 a.m. or 6 a.m. or whatever it was, put my shoes on, walked out the door. That's not the kind of journaling, I would recommend. I suggest people talk about the things that bother them. Talk about the things that make them happy. Just talk about their life and reflect on it. You can get a lot of personal progress done just by journaling. All right. But back to our online services and like that. Um, I quickly realized that I need more information from folks, and oftentimes we don't know what to ask until we start asking questions. And there are going to be times when people will come up with issues that I am not expert in, or some of my colleagues are not expert in. And at that point, I would like to be able to refer the question to people who are expert in certain areas to get their comments, their feedback, and their suggestions, right? And then we'll pass that on to you. Now, one of the problems of this process is the fact of the emailing itself. It takes time. Someone sends me an email and says, I'm depressed, please help. Well, I have to write back an email, and I'll be lucky if I get to that reply at the end of the day, because we're always busy. We're very busy and overworked. But let's say that I do. Let's say I answer every email by the end of the day. So person emails over to me, I'm depressed, can you help me out? And then I type back to them, I say, well, tell me more about your depression. I'll start asking questions. When did it start? Do you know what the depression is all about? Tell me your symptoms. How do you experience depression? Do you sleep all day? Do you have insomnia? Do you lack motivation? Do you resist all kinds of work and effort? I need to know something about it. I also need to know something about this person's life. Are you married? Where do you work? Where do you live? Do you live in a rural area or a big city? You know, these have different problems associated with them. How old are you? Do you have siblings? Are your parents around? Do you interrelate with your family? Asking lots of questions like the 200 questions the dentist asked me. I'm trying to pinpoint where the issues are and how I can be of service to you in those regards. So I tell you now, I don't think you can overwrite. In this process, if you wanted to write a novel, and I would say, go to some sort of a word program, write out the whole thing, as much as you can think of that might be relevant to our conversation, and then just attach it to an email. I don't mind reading them, and a lot of my colleagues don't mind reading them. I am fascinated with human behavior and with people. I just think that they're the best show on earth. I love to get to know people. I like to help them if I can. You can't write too much. You can write 17 pages, single space, small font, and I would not be offended. I would rather have more information than less, because chances are excellent, even after that long email, I'm going to have questions. So you write to me, I'm depressed, can you help me out? I write back, say, tell me about your depression. Tell me all the details about it. Tell me about your life. Are you married? Are you getting along with your spouse? Your kids hate you? Tell me all these things, right? I need the information. And then when I read all that information, I'm sure other questions will occur to me. So now we're on the second day, because I replied the first day. Guy sends me a reply on the second day. I respond on the second day. Now we're up to the third day, and we're still just gathering information. So as quickly as we can make this process work, the faster you'll get some results. And it'll be a lot easier for us than trying to figure out what your problem is and how we can be of service. So what does your online counselor need from you? First of all, we'd like your permission to share your story online without any identifying information at all. We'd like that, because it'll help us and help our process grow. We're trying to make something happen here. If we can put together this community, we can be of great service to folks, and that's what he who must not be named is looking for. By the way, I apologize for digressing and rambling, but I learned it from somebody you probably know who. This man went out and got a lot of services for folks online, and he's not getting paid for it. He's doing it because he believes in the work. He believes in people. He likes people, right? And yesterday I was watching one of his posts, and he announced that he had just made a whole lot of you published authors. He did that as well. He went online, put a book together with all the stuff you sent in. He created the book. He put it online. You are now published, and you can put it in your credits if you so desire. Contributed to this book, this title. That's what he's doing, trying to help. So while we're all trying to put something together to help you, because we think the world could use a little boost right now, we think people could use a little tender, loving care, people who care about other people and want to see an improvement in the culture and the society and the things that are going on, right? So Give us permission to share your story if you can. Tell us as much as you can about your circumstances. Don't think you are going to overwrite. I think that is impossible. Write as much as you can. Give us as much information. I will go through the information. If I think somebody else can come up with a better suggestion than I can, I will share it. Again, when I share your information with other colleagues, I'm going to delete all your personal information. It's just going to be, here's the situation, what he suggests. I'll collect all that information and I'll bring it back to you. I'm hoping I have time to respond to you personally in an email, giving you all the information that I found while we're looking through your situation. And then I hope also that I can present this online if it's going to be a benefit to other people. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to be of help. If you want to send in your questions, your suggestions, or even just say, hey, thanks for what you're doing, email is counselorscouch101, all lowercase, no spaces, no dashes, no apostrophe, counselorscouch101 at mail.com. That is not a mistake, at mail.com. Send us anything that you think would benefit others and would benefit you if we could look into it and make some suggestions for you. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll talk with you next time.